So here's the latest on my 96 Toyota Tacoma brake upgrade and other projects. Basically, while I was doing the brake upgrade, I realized that the intake scoop that I made years ago was starting to crack. It's something that I 3D printed and it's been on there for probably 5 or more years. So, I mean, it survived longer than expected even. So I'm printing a brand new one to replace that. That's why my front grille is missing. You'll also notice my front bumper is missing. Part of that was because I was painting and cleaning up some rust, light surface rust that hadn't even really gotten through some paint for the most part. But on the opposite side, I did actually have some pretty heavy rust. That was from when my battery burst and the acid went through. I spoke about that in another video. So I'm fixing all of that. I have the bumper off. The bumper looks nice from the front, but from the back it does look pretty rusty. So I'm probably going to do something about fixing that, removing that rust, and maybe repaint that bumper. The chrome was never really my favorite. I kept it because that's how the truck was. The original bumper on this truck got damaged. Not very hard to do, really. It's an extremely thin, little flimsy piece of metal. You can basically bump into something and bend it in. So I had a sort of made in China one that I put on because the original cost like 200 something. You can get a made in China one for 50 bucks. I really wish that at the time I bought the painted one and not the chromed over one, and then just painted it inside and out myself. I would have probably ended up with a better result that would not have rusted. But because I got the chrome and it's probably like a single coating of chrome, then it rusted all the way through. So now I'm going to have to wire wheel the whole back of that thing, clean it down to bare metal, spray it a different color. Has to definitely do some work on the front to get paint to adhere because it's chrome, like I said. But other than that, my front end is pretty much on a path to get done. I've ordered a grill mesh that has a hexagonal mesh pattern to match my front grill. And that's going to be going in the hood. That opening in the hood is finally going to be closed off just like it is on my Miata. And then, of course, the part you're all waiting to hear about is the Brembo brakes. Never mind how dirty my wheels are, I'm going to be cleaning those up pretty soon. So you can see I now have Brembo logos on my calipers. I had those cut on a Silhouette Cameo. It came out pretty good and replicates the look of the Brembo calipers I had on my GSX-R perfectly. I absolutely love how that came out. I even went through the trouble of clear coating over that vinyl. It's an Oracal 651, which based off what I understand should withstand high temperature. So hopefully that vinyl holds up, and I mean it's clear coated down, so hopefully again it holds up, because otherwise I've got to sand through clear coat and deal with a whole bunch of stuff to fix it. I don't foresee it being a problem. What is a problem is the brakes themselves. Now I've bled the system twice. I did it at all 4 corners, and when I go for a drive I still have an initially mushy pedal and I have trouble getting the wheels to lock up. I did not have that problem with my Willwood brakes. I could get my front tires to lock up like nothing. So I'm thinking there's still some air in the lines somewhere, or maybe my master cylinder has sprung a leak to a degree. It would not surprise me if the seals around the reservoir are bad. In any case, once I switch to rear discs in the back, I'm going to need a bigger, badder master cylinder that was intended for rear disc, because the one I have is intended for drums. So I may very well just change that out anyhow. A friend of mine has used a Lexus SC300 master cylinder for this purpose. I was seeing that the Toyota Sequoia one is also a popular swap, I guess, for like the 2nd gen tacos. I think what I'll do is I'll go to the auto parts and have them pull all of them off the shelf, and then I'll compare them to see which one has the closest bolting mounting pattern to the Tacoma, and I'll go with that. Whether Sequoia or SC300 doesn't matter, both of them have rear calipers. And actually Sequoia has massive front calipers that would better match what I'm running now. So either way, I'll test it out, figure out which one works, and then I'll get that on the truck, and hopefully that will resolve my very annoying and frustrating spongy pedal, because this has been quite a journey, quite an adventure to get the truck to this point with these big boy Brembos, these super awesome gyro disc 2-piece rotors that cost like $750, 800 bucks nowadays actually, and it would really suck for this system to perform worse than the Willwood system that was on there prior. I really feel that it should perform far better. So I'm going to be working on that in the next couple of weeks. I've also redesigned the bracket for mounting the Brembo calipers I have for the back onto my Ford 8.8 axle. Those brackets I'm going to have machined out using Xometry.com, and once those arrive, then the 8.8 rear axle swap can finally start. I'm pretty excited for that. I'm basically thinking that I'll do all of these projects, get the grill on, get the bumper on, maybe even renew my headlights because I'm not happy with my headlights right now. I'll maybe migrate from HID to a more modern LED system. That'll also allow me to get rid of the wiring harness and just make everything so much simpler under the hood as far as wiring for that goes. I plan to upgrade my radiator at some point, but the first thing is just going to be to upgrade the radiator fan, as the radiator fans have not been working well. I'm going to use a controller this time instead of just having a relay and an on-off setup. I'm also going to go ahead and fix my air conditioning. I think that's going to actually be the next major project, is me simply taking apart everything back there, all the hoses, and changing out all the O-rings, replacing the air dryer, etc., just so I can get my AC going. It is so hot and so humid right now in Florida that, like, even once I get all these cool things working, if I don't have AC, I'm not going to drive the truck. It's not going to be fun. So I definitely want to go ahead and do that. And then once all of that cool performance stuff is done, and I'm also going to paint a spare valve cover I have, so I'll have a nice valve cover again, I'm going to go ahead and start working on fixing the body of my truck. So the paint on my truck is in very bad condition. I don't know if you can appreciate it, but the paint on the bed is way more dull than the paint on the cab, and it's all peeling up top. You see all that peeling clear coat, so I want to fix that. I would really love to just take the bed off and have someone acid dip the entire thing and then e-coat it. I would love to do that with the cab and the fenders too while I'm at it, but I'm not sure how much that's going to cost and if it's going to be a thing, but I will try for it and let you guys know. I think the final thing that I'm going to have to work on is just my carbon fiber hood. Much like the paint, my carbon fiber hood was neglected. After I bought my Camaro, this truck kind of sat around my parents' backyard for most of a year. I would rarely drive it, and I definitely didn't wash it. So carbon fiber hood still looked brand new during the bulk of that period because I would periodically wash the hood, acrylic seal it, and then wax over it. Unfortunately, upon moving to my new house, I got behind on doing that, haven't washed the truck still, and well, my hood now looks like junk. So I'm probably going to be wet sanding this thing down and polishing it up, then giving it a brand new clear coat so that it looks like a brand new carbon fiber hood, because right now it just looks disgusting. So that's another thing that I have to do, chalk it up to another item on the massive list of to-do things for this truck. But I'm happy that I'm finally working on the truck again. I'm finally making progress on it. I've run into a lot of little bugs and snags along the way, but I think I'm finally starting to get to the light at the end of the tunnel, at least as far as the brakes go, and I hope that that will be true for the rest of it very soon. I will keep you guys posted, and stay tuned for a new video next week. If you like this project and you like projects like it, I will be posting up more videos much like this one, and with more detail obviously on different projects that I'm doing on the truck and my other cars. Definitely got some stuff coming up on the Camaro because I got a bunch of fluids that I got to change on it. So if you like this, you know, feel free to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I post up another video. If you have any comments, any feedback, you know, feel free to leave that in the comment section. And as always, thank you for watching.